All right, everybody. I'm gonna do another walk. We're gonna brave the elements. The snowbanks are a lot harder than they were yesterday. We did have some warmer weather, and it was cold last night, so some of it froze. There was actually a lot of ice on the roads this morning for traffic. People seem to handle that okay. So for now, we're going to go for our walk. I want to make sure I get the walk in before it gets dark. When the snow is all gone, it won't matter, day or night. But it definitely does make for better filming in daytime. Apologize if the camera's pointed at snow, but I gotta watch where I'm going until I get on some pavement. So I hope you're enjoying these walks, and if you're not, well, like I've always said, it's my channel for my pleasure. There we go. As you can see, there's no sidewalks. Well, there is, but it's covered with what's left of a foot of snow. So I wanted to walk today because we are going to have rain later this evening. Pretty much a certainty. Then we're going to have inclement weather for the rest of the week until Friday night, really. Late Friday night. Saturday, it looks like it's going to be pretty decent, around 40 degrees with some sunshine. Still a little bit cooler than I'd like to see right now, but we're getting there. Today, technically, I could walk without gloves if I wanted to. And I'm wearing my big puffy hoodie. That air comes up underneath and I'm not uncomfortable, so. But usually when I wear an extra shirt underneath this, it fills that gap, but it's not cold enough for that extra shirt, I guess is what I'm saying. As you can see, we got some salt in the roads from this morning, like I was telling you. I guess the driving was pretty bad. So, we're gonna go for our walk. I did 6 miles yesterday. Might end up with about the same today because I have to take an alternate route because of the part that goes up by Bates College. The sidewalks are not cleared. So, it's too much of a distance to walk on top of the snow. With all that traffic, I'm not going to walk in the road. So we will avoid that. It will mean I have to walk a little further, but it's not much. And you can see some snow scoops still out. They look like they've decided to do what most people have. Just leave it there till it melts, because It's definitely going to be melting. So it definitely will be melting. So yesterday's video, the snowbanks were a little higher than today. I want to say hi to B-Man. Hope everything's all well with you. God bless you. Hope everything is really good. I'm wearing my springtime cargo pants instead of my wintertime range cargo pants. Most people probably think I have one single pair of cargo pants and wear them all the time, but that's not the case. Just goes to show, when you think you know somebody, you really don't. So it's time to watch cars again, so I don't get killed. But until the snow's gone, that's what we got, unless I don't walk at all, and I don't want to do that. It'd be a good excuse not to. So anyways, what's going on in the world? Well, I watched footage last night when it happened, just about almost live. Somebody had just recorded it and uploaded it on X and Facebook. I saw a stream on another website. That's where I first saw it. It made its rounds. But it was actually footage of the bridge falling, getting hit by the ship in Baltimore. So it was a bad thing. Very bad. They've accounted for 7 vehicles that have fallen into the river. Presumably they're dead, because even if you survived the fall, the water temperatures are as such where you are going to get hypothermia, and you won't be able to swim in as little as under 2 minutes. So there's probably very healthy people. They could have been, you know, professional track swimmers, and it wouldn't have mattered. I guess is my point I'm saying. Your body cannot operate in cold temperatures. So I feel very badly for them. There was absolutely nothing they could do about it. The whole damn thing came down instantly. I've never seen anything like it. And the report was that workers on the bridge knew there was a mayday sent by the ship. So that cargo vessel did send a mayday. It stated that they had a complete loss of power, and they were unable to steer the ship. They were unable to do anything. All the power was just gone. So I don't know what would cause that. Maintenance, lack of it. If they violated anything, that company is going to be gone, because people died, a lot of people. They're estimating probably about 21 people, 21 cars. Cars and vehicles. So some of those cars might have had multiples. They said they have marked 7 vehicles, so they can confirm that there is at least 7. But they expect somewhere around 20 to 21, which means that tells me they looked at the bridge surveillance video. They said construction workers, or bridge workers they called them. I'm assuming they were construction workers working on it, because they did have their night lights on doing construction work. In fact, they did confirm there was a cement truck down there. So they might have been pouring concrete. And some of those workers knew there was a mayday and distress call. So I don't know if the bridge had an alarm that was going off, but they said the bridge workers, they were called. So I don't know if they actually work on the bridge or they were construction workers working on the bridge. I don't want to spread misinformation. They went and stopped traffic on each end of the bridge, or at least on one end. That hasn't been confirmed yet. But it has been confirmed that by doing that, they probably saved, quote, hundreds of lives, because it was morning traffic. I guess big cities like that are running around at all hours, pretty busy. So they went for a plunge, very cold water, unfortunately. It's going to be a recovery operation now, so I mean, nobody's expected to survive that. Even if you should get an air pocket in your vehicle and you're wet from the neck down, you'll die from hypothermia, because the water temperature this time of year is very cold, probably in the 30s, especially in Baltimore, Maryland, and New England. And that happens here in Maine at least once or twice a winter, or spring, I mean. And we may have just had our first one. A 22-year-old kid. I'll call him a kid because he's 22. They just fished his body out of one of the rivers here in Maine. Might have been in Cumberland, I think, or something like that. Anyway, some workers found the body. I guess they had churned something up there where they were working, and the body came up. So they called the fire department, and they took the body out, and they confirmed it was that kid that was missing. So they're going to do a toxicology, see if he'd been drinking. But more than likely, he might have been acting silly or had been drinking and fell in the river. Whatever the case, the temperatures that time of year, he probably drowned within a minute or two. Your arms just stop working. That happened last spring too, with a guy that went and stood up on a railing for waterfalls so his wife could take a picture. He lost his footing, he fell in, went down the waterfalls, and they found him dead. He drowned, even though he knew how to swim. The water temperature was in the upper 30s. So you can succumb to that. The temperature when he was standing on the railing was about 60, air temperature. So it was a nice day. Hey, it's springtime, I'm gonna go stand on a railing. Well, so this kid might have done that, we'll find out. But that raises the fact that you need to be aware of the dangers, no matter who you are. You need to be prepared for that. Just like I need to be prepared to watch for oncoming traffic. So every once in a while, I look down where I'm walking, then I look up, down, It is warmer today. I'm wearing this big thick hoodie and I'm starting to sweat. That's okay. That's okay. Now we're passing the Great Chicken Coop incident. Excuse me. It's not the warmest day today, but it's not cold either. Probably be chilly if I wasn't walking. I guess is what I mean. Amazing how quickly your nose turns into a faucet. 10 degrees warmer, it won't be an issue. So that's what I'm rooting and tooting for it. Come on, give us some warmer weather. Well, I just hit 1 mile. It says 23 minutes because I wasted about 5 minutes at the house. I started my walking thing and then realized I needed to do my stretches, and then I had to use the restroom, blah, blah, blah. So now I'm off by about 6 minutes. But I did reach my first mile and it said 23 minutes. Which is much longer than my usual mile. It was probably more like 17 or 18 minutes. So it was nice to see one of our local legislators, State Representative Laurel Libby from Auburn, on Fox News. She was on there talking about this transgender protector insane lunatic bill. It's basically a trans trafficking bill that the Democrats here seem to be hell-bent on trying to pass. I have no idea why they want to do that. I'm sure the people of Maine don't support that. It's got to be a big donor. It always comes down to the Benjis, the Benjamins. So anyways, that being said, we'll see what happens with Maine Bill LD 227. That's LD 227, State of Maine, 2024 legislature. So we see a robin sitting on the fence. Hi, little robin. He's enjoying the view. There he goes. It's funny when people are driving, they like drama. Oh, they slow down. They deliberately make it too wide of a turn to tell me that how dare you be where you are. Electric car, hate those. Too quiet. We might experience a little bit of moisture, a little bit of raining on this walk. Maybe, it's hit or miss. I do feel a slight mist on my face, just for a second, and it stopped. So, if it rains too much, I will put my hoodie up, even though, as I've told you before, I don't like that. It takes away your peripheral vision. You can't see cars losing control, turning into you, or not seeing you, etc. So, I'm going to walk on up the hill here. Hope you're having a beautiful day. I hope you don't mind my bantering. I realize this isn't for everybody. Well, they saw me at the last second. You can always see that little wheel jerk when they see you. I might actually go this way. Less traffic. Somebody just drove out of a pile of snow instead of cleaning it. Snow plowing around them. They had a parking ban. They could have been towed. Maybe they were. Maybe they were towed. Oh, goodness. Excuse me. If I don't do that, I'm going to sneeze or something. So, I'll walk down this way. I don't know what flag that is. Green, white, and yellow. Don't know what that is. That up on the intranet when I get home. Whew. If I really wanted to know, I'd go up, take a picture of it, and do a search using the photo. So for me, these almost daily walking vlogs are walks I'm going to take anyway. That's why a lot of them seem repetitive. It's not a traveling around travel vlog. It's not a I'm going to a different place every day. It's basically walking exercise. Sometimes I divert my course. I'll be walking in different places. Definitely going to hit that Mount Appetite in Auburn Park. Are really excellent trails from the pictures and video I've seen. So, looking forward to that. I just want to go there when things are green. So maybe towards the end of April, beginning of May. We'll see. maybe early spring, and we'll go back 3-4 times during the summer. Whew, that was a pretty steep little hill. That's got my heart rate up. That's the top of the hill. That's the top of the hill. We would have come over that crest that you have walked with me probably many times if you watch these. So today we'll go this way. As we see a broken branch on the snow over there, straight ahead. It snapped off. Last night I went and got some new trail mix. It's like this honey nut kind of stuff with peanut butter Reese's Pieces and dark chocolate pieces, which is a good thing. I walk almost every day. But it has a lot of proteins. It does have some sugar in it, but it has a lot of proteins and potassium and things that you use on walks. So I don't go crazy eating like the whole bag. Just a couple handfuls in a bowl. Pretty good, especially after a walk. Get your energy back. And we get this sign here for visually impaired person. I don't think I've ever seen a visually impaired person on this walk. But they must exist. There's a sign. All right. Cruise on down the hill here. Somebody's doing some yard work, looks like. They had a couple trees removed. Whew. All right, we're getting there. I've got a little bit more room to walk than I did yesterday on this walk. We had sunshine yesterday though, and we don't today. Oh well. At least there's no ice to worry about like this morning. So that's good. A stretch like this where the water is wet, where it's melting, that refreezes at night, and that's the kind of thing you fall on your can and hurt yourself. So I'm pretty picky about watching the weather for my walks. Like today, I know there's a chance of showers here and there. Most of the rain's going to be later, somewhere around 9-10 o'clock tonight. But a lot of times there's rain that doesn't show up on the radar. And I know that just from walking, because I've run into that a lot. So, at the homestead, at the ranch, I've had to reset a few mouse traps. Seems like the mice are awake. A couple of the traps I had there had dead mice in them. So I reset them and baited them with peanut butter. They can't resist that. They really can't. So I had one scratching around up in the ceiling there a couple weeks ago, and then I didn't hear him, and I went and checked the trap, and sure enough, he got snapped in the snap trap. I don't use those old-fashioned ones. I use the ones with these kind of teeth on them. They're made out of plastic. They're the best damn mouse traps ever. I mean, they work very well. They snap quickly, and the mouse is killed just by where they put the little feed tray. Their head is always in there, so it's always a good clean on the neck kill over the head. Not good from the mouse's point of view, I'm sure. Who the hell wants to be a dead mouse? I don't. Alright, this person does not see me. Oh, they saw me. Older lady. I'm getting pretty good at noticing who sees me and who doesn't. It's just something you pick up. It's hard to explain. Kind of like when you're driving in traffic, there's always somebody you can tell what they're doing just because of your experience from driving. That's the benefit of being older and not younger. Younger people a lot of times will miss those cues. Now, what's this truck doing? He sees me. Slowing down even. I get the bonus plan. This person sees me not slowing down. He's 24 years old, looks like. Has the answers for everything. Everything is, come on, I gotta get there 5 minutes ago. Let's go, let's go. There was this kid I worked with a few years ago. You know, he was always going off the road in the wintertime when we get snow. You know, and he would always drive too fast. But hey, you know, he was 22 years old. Don't tell him. Don't tell him anything. He knows everything. Well, eventually he figured it out, and he stopped going off the road after the 4th time. After he had to call a tow truck, and it cost him $100 plus. Plus he had to have a wheel bent, fixed. So he had a $500 repair, which basically is what it came out to, because you know, you're without your vehicle. I don't know what his insurance was, but he seemed to be upset about it, so it was probably one way, oops, that's your fault business. Pay for it yourself. I don't know, because insurance for young people is pretty expensive. So they usually get the budget. But if you do that, you can't drive like a fool. You just can't do it. All right, now I'm getting off the most dangerous part. A little more room to walkies over here. And Nice shot of the flag through the trees. Very nice. She's wearing her mask in her car. Good for her. She's afraid to re-disease herself, I guess. World's gone insane. That's all I'm saying. Well, it looks like somebody did do some sidewalk cleaning here. I'm guessing somebody complained, or they have so much of it to do. This looks a lot softer over here. You know, the neighborhood I'm in, they plowed that snow and it's all rock hard. This looks a lot better. So this was not cleared yesterday, and now it is. So maybe they decided it's not melting as quick as they thought it would, and maybe they should do their rounds before they get sued. People sue for less. And to be honest with you, it's actually more work walking on where they cleaned, because it's not down to the pavement. And you have seen past videos where I had mentioned how well they clean the sidewalks here. Usually they make sure they're like this. And that little bit of residue snow, they'll go by a second time with a second pass to go behind where they went already. They've done that in our neighborhood many times. So I don't have any complaints with the job they're doing. There's some kind of reason why. Maybe they thought spring was here, put stuff away. Maybe they sent off equipment to have repairs done. Who knows what they've done. But I do know that they weren't out cleaning, and they usually do a better job than this. So usually you don't see that. So I think a lot of it is they're having a difficult time because there was such heavy snow. You know, that's the thing. It really was. Even those big trucks like that trying to push it, they sit there spinning their wheels a little bit, then they got to back up and then slam into it again. So this is not the best snow, wet heavy snow. It just isn't. People get heart attacks shoveling it. I saw a guy yesterday trying to plow on my way back from my walk that I didn't record. But he was trying to plow and he couldn't get that snowbank moved. It was too big and heavy. And it was a pretty good sized V8 pickup truck with a big plow on it. It wouldn't budge. So we'll make do with what we got. This ain't bad right here. See the little robin in front of me? Hi, little robin. They're like, where's the springtime? Somebody lied to me. I want the little bugs. So you get those people on the internet. You know, I find a lot of social media, this is what happens, and it really annoys the hell out of me. It really does. People are, I don't really reply to people anymore because the same thing always happens. People end up fighting over the dumbest things. So anyway, I had mentioned to somebody, because they lived in a climate where they didn't have snow. And they asked if it was typical to have a storm like this time of year. And I was honest with them. I said, no, it's not typical. It's actually pretty rare. You do get some sometimes, a foot or more. But generally speaking, no. Of course, you know, 2 other people from Maine have to chime in. Well, that's not true. I've had snow on my birthday in April before. Okay. Where do you live? I live in Portland. Okay, so in April what you had is you had snowflakes, snow flurries, probably mixed in with rain showers. You didn't have storms, okay? The guy was asking me about a storm. Of course we get snow. We've had snow in the first week of May before. It doesn't stick. We'll have like this big flurry of snow that goes by, puts a little coating of white on something, and then it melts like in 2 hours. So yeah, we do get snow. But it's rare. It's very rare to get a storm of more than 8 inches of snow at the end of March into April. Of course, we have had that before. You know, and there's always these damn fools that make you make 4 more posts explaining something until they finally, you know, get the point and leave. And you gotta go find past National Weather Service charts. It has to be from something reputable. Can't be from somebody's blog. So you gotta go find National Weather Service things, but, or you can do what most people do. You're an effing idiot and then block them. I just don't like to do that. So of course we've had snowstorms this time of year. We just had one. It's not going to be the last one. We've had them before, but it's not the norm. It's not the normal, regular thing. You know, and that's, so many people are just so annoying like that. And then the other person that replied lived way up by Fort Kent in Aroostook County, towards Canada. I'm sure they get plowable snow into May. So the person that doesn't live here was asking me about where I live, and none of those 2 other people were being spoken to at all. They just had to chime in. I'm telling you, the day they invent a way to jab somebody in the face with an ice pick several times to their computer monitor is going to be a happy day. So anyway. Well, we're having a pretty good walk today, regardless. As long as it's not cold, you know, it's nice. This feels very much like an early, maybe late December, early November kind of snow. It's like a beginning of the winter kind of snow. Nothing's frozen. The ground's not frozen yet. But right here is bringing me flashbacks when I used to walk to school. Kind of slushy snow. Yeah, I'm having a flashback from when I was 5 or 6 years old, maybe 7, when it was still safe for kids to walk to school by themselves. Or I should say safer. I don't know if it's ever been entirely safe. But, you know, this area, this neighborhood you're looking at, when people used to leave their doors unlocked, you didn't have to worry about it. The only time you locked your doors is when you were going to be gone for the whole weekend or something. And it was nice. You know, once in a while, you know, your neighborhood would have Maybe you'd have a neighborhood drunk or something who might pass out on your lawn or lean up against a pole singing to himself. But you didn't see the crazy stuff you see today. So I'm watching this film clip the other day, speaking of crazy stuff. Jeez, I don't know if this guy was, I think he was, I know he was an illegal. I think he was Haitian. Could be wrong on that. But he was an illegal. High as a kite on something. I think I had read it was bath salts. And he had come across somebody that had been hit by an Amtrak train. And the person was killed by the train. The transient, probably somebody passed out on the tracks, homeless person, whatever. And he got messed up, you know, because trains will do that. So the person that got hit had limbs amputated from being run over by the train, which if you get underneath the rail of a train, it'll just cut your arm off. And probably compressed so much that you wouldn't even bleed much unless you opened up the wound. Because I saw a skunk cut in half by a train once. It was the weirdest thing. Perfectly clean cut, no blood, nothing. So anyway, this transient, illegal, high on something, picked up the dude's leg. He picked up the dude's leg, man, and was walking around gnawing on it. He was eating it. He was eating this guy's severed leg. No joke. I saw the live, uncensored video of that. He's walking down a sidewalk. It was in California, of course, you know, why wouldn't it be? Southern California. Escondido or something like that. I'm sure you can find it in the news. A man walking around eating a leg. I'm sure it'll pop up in the search. And that right there with the windshield wipers is something that young people do here. They pull their windshield wipers up. I have no idea why they do that. Serves no benefit whatsoever. It's something they think they should do. Very strange. Now this sidewalk here is clear. So I'm going to see if they cleaned up Sabatis Street. Not Sabatis, but Russell Street up here by Bates College. And see if I can walk up that way today. So anyway, this guy was walking around with the dude's leg, eating it. He was eating the son of a bitch. He had blood on his face. So 2 police cars pull up and they're like, they have a look like, you know, the same way we would have a look like, am I really seeing this? Has the zombie apocalypse started? So anyways, they get out and confront him and they arrest him. And you know, they can't charge him with manslaughter. They can't charge him with anything other than, I guess it's an ordinance, a law in California, that you cannot transport a cadaver from the scene of an accident. So apparently somebody thought of that. So this person was charged with that, and also was charged with mutilating a cadaver, which was, you know, they're eating it. So this looks cleaned. Did they go all the way up? They did. I'm free. So we'll go ahead and walk. Yesterday, as you saw in the video, this was not cleared yet. Just hit 3 miles. Now, as you can see, they chewed up some of the ground, and that's really the problem with that, is the ground's not frozen right now. So when they go along, they scoop up they scoop up the ground and it all gets shot out right here onto the snow. Now the other thing I just thought of is I don't think they did lower Sabata Street at the end of this road, because they didn't do it where I started this walk. The last thing I want is I don't want to walk all the way back and run into sidewalks not clear. So while this is nice, I don't think I'm going to follow it all the way up a mile up the road, because chances are they have not cleaned Sabata Street yet. They didn't do across the street there yet either. So it looks like they had planned on just leaving the snow here until it melted, but now they're realizing that it's taking longer because the amount of snow we got. I guess best I can figure, if you have an idea on why they're not doing it like they usually do, let me know. And again, I'll make sure you understand before you reply that typically this is always cleaned just as it stops snowing. They're out cleaning everything. So there was an obvious delay this time, which obviously is a managerial decision. I don't know why. Well, she looks like she's limping. Limping like she might have an artificial leg, maybe. And I say that because she's wearing loose pants. That would be typical for people that don't want other people to see it. I would do something like that. All right, so this goes up a little further. When I get up to my left-hand turn up here, I will try to take a look-see up ahead. Now, if I go walking tomorrow, they probably will have done Sabata Street. But this seems a lot softer than the stuff that's on Sabata Street. So I'm wondering if they tried to do Sabata Street and gave up on it. I don't know. I don't have any idea. I do see things like this where you can see they had to back up and start again. Then you can see where they had to stop, back up. So they were definitely having a difficult time doing this. So they tried. And again, we're going to get rain tonight, and the next couple days is going to be mid to upper 40s, low 50s. I think Thursday is supposed to be 57, I think they said. But that's like with everything else. You really don't know, because they don't know. You go to different news sources and they'll say different things. All right. The two young people push the thing on the pole. This guy here pushes the thing on the pole. Hope they know I laugh at people like that. I'll do the old-fashioned way. Polite. Guy's looking at me like, he just crossed without pushing a button. Quick, call the cops. Amazing to me. Just absolutely mind-boggling. And I'm telling you right now, the people that push a button on a pole, if they're not elderly, somewhat disabled, or maybe have some kind of mental acuity problem, it's a gentle way of saying it. Somebody pushing the damn button on the pole, I'm telling you right now, is a liberal Democrat. They don't do anything on their own unless they're told by some authoritative figure or a light on a pole. As you can tell, I'm annoyed by a lot of things today, because there's a lot of things going on to be annoyed with. It's like completely justified. I'm not angry, I'm annoyed. So one thing I am angry about, though, is the ATF. They finally started their I don't even know what you want to call it, firearms control group kind of thing. Basically what they're going to focus on is helping states enforce red flag laws, helping states with information they need. And you know, I've seen videos of ATF, people higher up in the ATF, and they're handed a handgun at some kind of press op that they're doing, and the son of a bitch cannot even break down a polymer semi-automatic pistola. And it was a Glock. This guy didn't know how to do it. And this guy is in charge of what a legal firearm is or not. That's why you see these stupid people talking about pistol braces being bump stocks. They don't even know what they're looking at. That's not even what made me angry about the ATF. It was that damn shooting in Arkansas. Now we have more information. Here's the basic information and all you need to know in Biden's war on firearms. He lived in a red state, ran an airport, made $233,000 a year. That's what he was paid. Good money. And he was buying and reselling firearms, which is not illegal. It's not illegal. The ATF and FBI assert that he was buying these firearms and reselling them, allegedly, to people he knew shouldn't have any, by not doing a background check and receiving extra money for them. Of course, we're never going to know that, because he did. He's dead. You want to know why he's dead? Because he had never done anything violent in his life, had no criminal record, never did a damn thing wrong ever. So they go get a warrant from a judge. What kind of warrant did they get? They got one of those damn effing no-knock warrants. Do you know what the purpose of a no-knock warrant is? A no-knock warrant is the type of warrant you get when you need to raid a compound and you're worried about somebody shooting at you or multiple criminals on the property, like when you go raid a drug bust, when you go raid some kind of big illegal operation, okay? Maybe the mob, the mafia, gangs. Now, this guy was an airport director, just like firearms, owned several of them. So they got a no-knock warrant. A no-knock warrant means you got all these people in tack gear with assault rifles. And before you say it, I know they're not assault rifles, but that's what the media calls them. And until somebody comes up with an alternative name that somebody knows what I'm talking about, I'll have to call them that. So just deal with it. Anyway, they have tack gear, night vision. They use things like concussion grenades, and they bring a battering ram and they ram your door in, breaking your doorknob off. They don't knock. They don't knock and say, so-and-so is here with a warrant. They just show up and bash your door in. Now this guy reacted like any gun owner would do. Somebody's bashing their door in. He's not going to wait for them to, you know, he was probably yelling at them. And you probably had ATF agents talking over each other, yelling things at him. And he thought he was having a home invasion and opened fire on the ATF, wounding one of their officers, which was avoidable because they did something stupid. And this guy ended up dying at the hospital with a head wound and a couple other wounds. So they killed him with an unnecessary no-knock warrant. And I'm sure it was a liberal district attorney and a liberal judge that okayed it, because now they are weaponizing the justice system against anything that is pro-Republican. This guy probably voted for Clinton. This guy was probably a Democrat, who knows? But he was into firearms, and they are waging a war against firearms or anything that funds the gun lobby that funds Republicans. So he was targeted, obviously. Very obviously targeted politically. And they didn't get what they wanted. They ended up having a shootout because they were doing something stupid, wrong, and in my opinion, it's never going to be said it was illegal because the judge said a no-knock warrant was warranted, despite him never having any violent history. Absolutely was not necessary. They could have waited for him to leave for work. Since he had a responsible job, he probably just got out of the shower. You know, getting ready for work, 6 o'clock in the morning, it's still dark out, and people are ramming your door in. I'm pretty sure I would end up shooting too. So that's what happened with that. Unfortunately. So that's what I'm pissed about today. I read that article earlier this morning, and you know, the guy's brother is pissed, absolutely pissed. His brother's dead, he didn't do anything. Whatever he was accused of, you're innocent until proven guilty, for one thing. And he wasn't being chased down for a violent crime. There was no outstanding warrant for him. There was nothing. There was absolutely no reason to do a no-knock warrant. And he's not the first one they've done that to. Usually it doesn't have a shootout. So, and the other unfortunate thing is, the family or anybody is going to have to legally acquire body cam footage. They're not going to be willing to give it up. And they're not going to just admit they did something wrong. They're going to try to cover it up. You know they will. They're not going to release the information. The media is not going to do anything about it. And if it turns out this guy voted for Trump, which they wouldn't have any way of knowing, but they'll know if he's registered as a Republican or not, then that's a double F you. You'll never get that info. So there's that. I mean, there's nothing the ATF can argue there. They did that. It's an absolutely horrendously awful thing. Now, the former Trump administrative aide and consultant and former press secretary Sarah Huckabee is the governor of Arkansas. She hasn't issued any statement yet at all. So she's going to do it the smart way. She is going to wait until the investigation's done. Somebody screwed the pooch, that's all I'm saying. And it wasn't the guy's house they raided, whether he did something illegal or not. People in this country have rights. You're innocent until proven guilty, yada yada yada. I mean, I have a shotgun in the house with defensive rounds, and you know, if somebody's trying to bash your door in, I definitely would be going for that. They would come in, I'd be standing there with a loaded shotgun. I'd probably get shot with people like that. You can't defend against a no-knock warrant. That's why they only use it for busting criminal operations. People that you need to do that with, where if you knock, you'll get shot at through the door. So they ended up defeating the whole purpose of it and getting shot at anyway. An agent got shot and somebody died. So, you know, stupid. Just absolute incompetent stupidity. Just like the whole Biden administration as a whole. Stupid people. Wow, look at all the robins today. Sorry to go on a rant about that, but geez, you know, this country's in trouble. People's rights are being violated, and on all fronts, all over the place. Can't even get out of Portland, Maine. Now they have stopped charging and arresting people for having an illegal vehicle registration in Cumberland County. And they've made it universal for everybody. The Attorney General, District Attorney, said we're not going to prosecute people if their registration is expired and they can't provide that or proof of insurance. So they're just circumventing the law for politics. And the reason why they're doing it is the greatest percentage of people that don't comply with that are illegals. So they're coddling illegals by telling everybody they don't have to register their car or have insurance. It's insanity. It's stupid. What are you going to do when your child gets run over by somebody doing something dumb and they don't have insurance? That was the whole purpose of making it mandatory to have insurance when they passed that law many decades ago, because people were driving without insurance. Stupid people. Democrats, they're all dumb Democrats. People are sick of it. They really are. You can see it. There's signs of it in California, New York. Things are flipping red. People are pissed off. Bad things are happening, and people are doing things to encourage more bad things to happen instead of fixing the problem. Instead, they're blaming Republicans. Oh, it's a red state. Oh, anybody that lives there knows that's just a bunch of nonsense. All right, we do not have a sidewalk here. That figures. All right, well, I'm gonna have to walk up here. Hopefully it's not soft. It's hard enough to walk on, so that's all I needed. There might still be a couple spots I'll fall through. But as you can see, there's too much traffic. All right, sidewalk's clear on the other side. So I'm gonna scoot on over this way before I get killed. All right. I have got a sidewalk. How far up does it go? I don't know. But I am going to be crossing back over because I'm not going to walk all the way up. We'll go up a little ways and we'll cut down and go by where I see deer in the summertime at night. Then I'll head back to the ranch. And before I get there, I'll stop recording. Whew. We're at about 4.5 miles right now. Got a damn good sweat going. Yeah, that really burns my biscuits, man. And the ATF and government agencies do things like that. It's infuriating how irresponsible, political, and stupid it is. Stupid. Nice looking church. I like all those metal spikes sticking out of the roofing. That is to keep those sheets of ice in place so the whole sheet of ice doesn't slide off the roof and kill somebody. Because it could. Probably happened before. Alright, we got a sidewalk today. At least on one side. And to be honest with you, I couldn't tell you if they only did one side all year because I've never walked in the wintertime for this reason. So I don't pull a ligament or sprain my ankle, or you could see where the machine got stuck here. And they were digging in right there and right here, spinning their wheels. Very tough stuff to clean. Typically though, way up, I have seen them do both sides. So I would assume they do that here too, but they're not going to get through those snowbanks. Well, maybe. It's not completely on the sidewalk. Hi, how are you? I looked like he was not enjoying walking. There's another rut where it got stuck. Yeah, definitely looks like they went by not long ago, actually. Looks like it was freshly carved. I'm sure you're seeing that at home. You can imagine, if you're not used to snow like this, the logistics of cleaning up an entire city, sidewalk by sidewalk. So they have routes that they do. They do the main stretches like this right away, and then later on, after the storm, they will go down and do residential streets, some of them. Most of the smaller streets, like the one we just looked at, they won't. But the more populated areas get done. And you can see on that sign it's 35 degrees. Whew. So this seems to go up for quite a ways. But all right, was a little bit of a kerfuffle. Well, I got across the street. I heard that beep and I thought it was telling me I had 24% of battery left, which I believe I changed it to notify me ahead of time when the battery's getting low. That's not what happened. Turns out the SD card was full because I still had yesterday's walk on it. And I've already transferred that walk onto a laptop, so I just deleted yesterday. So that's it. Yesterday's gone. You can go look at your calendar and you'll see that I have taken it away. It's no longer there. Yep, that's it. So anyway, I am at 4.56, now 4.6 miles. And I crossed the street brilliantly. We didn't get that recorded. And we get some icicles up there. And looks like we also have either a light, a security camera. It's probably a security camera, because they have expensive equipment in there, which they do. So now we're going to head back. And I want to thank you for joining on the walk. I'm glad you enjoy these. And this little pond over here is running with snow melt. You can see where the water is running. This is where we saw those ducks and it was raining out. Slow down. Jeez. So this is where we had those ducks. I gotta watch these cars. I'm gonna go across the street because people drive like morons this time of day. No need to drive that fast. And we got that woman here overcompensating, which is fine. People are crazy. Now, a lot of people driving will be like, well, geez, this person's walking in the road. Well, there's no sidewalks and pedestrians have right of way anyway, so shut your hole and deal with it. If you hit me, it's your fault, because it is. I'd like nothing more than to be out of the way. Looks like a messy road. It looks like nobody plowed that. That's what that looks like. Alright, so I was able to do basically my normal route, which is fine. Which means I'll walk 5 miles today. Or 5.4, 5.5 instead of 6 like yesterday. So that's all right. My goal is to do 5 miles every time I walk, at least 5. So we're definitely going to get that in. Today. Go across the street. Go across. My left shoe is starting to loosen up. It's okay. I'm almost where I'm going. Hopefully it'll stay together. And this over here is where I enter a lot of my woods walk gun talks, by this tree with that yellow diamond on it. You can see somebody has some footprints that go through here. Property boundary. My shoe is coming unglued. It's not unglued, it's coming untied. I just hit 5 miles at an hour and 33 minutes. Minus 5 or 6 minutes dilly-dallying at the house before leaving. So that's a pretty good time. Not bad. And my boot is officially untied. So I'm going to go across here where I have a curb and an open spot where I won't get hit. I'll tie my damn boot. I'm all tied up. Let's get back. Get back. Get back. Get back to where you once belonged. Get back. I always get a song in my head. And I don't apologize for it. Because why should I? Music is one of the greatest things ever. If you ever meet somebody that doesn't like music, there's something wrong with them. They're psychotic. I mean, geez, even Hitler liked music. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm hungry. I'll get back to where I'm going shortly. The snow is all mushy today. Oh, I wanted to mention I got a new pistol review I'll be doing soon. It's a small caliber 22 semi-automatic. I'll have more details on that when I upload it. My brother is picking it up today from the FFL, so we'll take a look at it later. And I will do a review of it. I think he paid $169 for it. I don't really recall the name of it, sorry, but we'll have it on the channel regardless. I haven't even seen it yet. He just told me he was getting a new pistol for us to shoot, so we'll check it out. So the takeaway from that guy in Arkansas that ended up being killed by the ATF is I'll tell you what triggered the ATF looking at him, so you can make your own decisions about what you want to do to not deal with them. He bought several firearms of the same model and make. There was it was the same model Glock. He bought like 9 copies since 2021. And he did the same thing with other ones as well. You know, he wouldn't just buy, you know, different things all the time. It was always the same firearm, the same AR pistol, multiple times in a year. Now that automatically triggers something with the ATF, which I'm sure he must have known. He probably just felt he wasn't doing anything wrong or illegal, which is another reason why I think he was innocent. You can say what they want now, he's dead, right? But the FFL is required by law to report multiple purchases of the same firearm in a short period of time. So in most instances, if you bought 9 of the same thing in a year from the same FFL, chances are you're buying them to resell them, or maybe doing them for some reason you shouldn't be. So that's supposed to trigger the ATF, and then they investigate that, and they go knock on your door and they go bother you. Now, what they did this time is they got permission from a judge to look at this guy's bank accounts, what he was spending his money on, where he was buying them, income, like he would buy a firearm and within 24 hours later he would sell it because he would be depositing that same amount of money back into his bank account. Or obviously he would sell it for profit. But anyway, they pieced it together. They had been watching him for a while. He'd been doing this since he first started in 2020. So they have been investigating him. He had tables at gun shows. A couple of undercover agents bought firearms from him. They claim that he stated they were new firearms and that he was just selling them to them. No background check. So basically, though, we're never going to know what this guy did or didn't do because he's dead. So they can say whatever they want. And it is raining right now, by the way. I thought I'd let you know. You might see some water on the lens, maybe. But we're almost done. So I still have a ways to walk in the rain up the road. But I'm going to end this conversation now. I want to thank you very much for watching. Click like and subscribe. And especially the gun videos on my channel. Share those around on the internet. I got a feeling a lot of my subscriptions is from people taking my video and posting it on social media forums. And then people find their way here with that. Because the subscriptions have slowed down a little bit. But I am up to 1.6 thousand, so thank you very much. That's a very good number. It's always a nice goal to get to 1,000, but now I'm at 1,600, and I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day. I'm gonna go eat something nice. I got a ways to walk still, but like I said, I don't record where I'm going past a certain point for safety reasons. So Have a beautiful day, everybody. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.